Good morning students. This is my lecture number 2 for class 12 students, subject English, for chapter number 3, Journey to the End of the Earth, from your book Vistas. Children, in this lecture we will discuss all the questions related to this chapter given on page number 19, 20 and 23. We'll discuss all these questions one by one, but before discussing the questions, let us recall the chapter with its main points. This chapter, Journey to the End of the Earth, is written by Tishani Doshi, in which she describes the journey to the coldest, driest and windiest continent in the world, that is Antarctica. The world's geological history is trapped in Antarctica, and Geoff Green's Students on Ice program aims at taking high school students to the end of the world. Doshi thinks that Antarctica is the place to go and understand the Earth's present, past and future. Now we'll proceed to the main points or the value points of this lesson. In this, the narrator boarded a Russian research ship that was named the Academic Shokalsky. It was heading towards the coldest, driest and the windiest continent in the world, that is Antarctica. His journey began 13.9 degrees north to the equator in Madras, and they crossed the 9 time zones, 6 checkpoints, 3 bodies of water and at least 3 ecospheres. They travelled over 100 hours in car, aeroplane and ship to reach there. 650 million years ago, a giant southern supercontinent, Gondwana, did indeed exist. This centered roughly around present-day Antarctica. Human beings had not arrived on the global scene. The climate at that time was much warmer. It supported a huge variety of flora and fauna. When the dinosaurs became totally extinct and the age of mammals began, the landmass was forced to separate into countries as they exist today. The purpose of their visit was to study ozone and carbon, their evolution and extinction. One needs to understand the significance of Coriolanus folds as well. 90% of the Earth's total ice volumes are stored in Antarctica. There are no human settlements, no trees and no buildings. Icebergs are as big as countries. Then days go on in 24-hour austral summer light. The most hotly contested debate of our time is whether Antarctica or West Antarctica ice sheets will melt entirely or not. If we want to study the Earth's past, present and future, then Antarctica is the place for us to go. It has a simple ecosystem and lacks biodiversity. It is the perfect place to study how little changes in the environment can have big repercussions. Scientists warn that a further depletion of the ozone layer will affect the lives of the sea animals and birds of the region. And it will also affect the global carbon cycle. It was the most thrilling experience of the visit. All of them climbed down the gangplank and walked on the ocean. They were total 52 persons who were walking on a meter-thick ice pack. Under the ice pack, there was 180 meters of living, breathing salt water. Seals were enjoying there. The narrator was wondering about the beauty of that place. And then the narrator proceeds towards the burning of fossil fuels that has polluted the atmosphere, which has created a blanket of carbon dioxide around the world, and it's increasing the global temperature, which is visible at Antarctica when we see icebergs melting away. It shows how minor changes in the atmosphere can cause huge effects. If the global temperature keeps on increasing, the human race may be in peril. Students on Ice is a program which provides the students an ample opportunity to understand how global temperature can be a big threat to human existence. It inculcates a new understanding in them. Geoff Green thinks that high school students are the future policy makers. They can help in saving the earth from ecological dangers and the effects of global warming. The author gives us an example to show how small changes in the atmosphere can be threatening. Therefore, it should be our utmost duty to protect this earth before it is totally ruined. Children, now we will proceed to the question answers of this chapter. Let's proceed to your question number 1 given in read and find out box on page number 19. The question is, how do geological phenomena help us to know about the history of mankind? And the answer to this question would be, the geological phenomena of separating various continents and water bodies from one compact landmass tells us about the age of existence of human race on the earth. It is told in the chapter, students, that 650 million years ago, no human race existed on the earth because the environment was not favorable. And after some time, when dinosaurs were wiped out, the mammals started existing, and after the separation of land mass, the human race started flourishing. Now, your question number 2 given in read and find out box on page number 20 is, what are the indications for the future of humankind? If you have read the chapter, you can see the answer is given just beside this question on the same page. And the appropriate answer you can write in such a way that the future of humankind can get in danger if the emission of carbon dioxide and other poisonous gases go on in the same manner. These gases deplete the ozone layer and allows the ultraviolet rays of the sun to enter the Earth's environment, which rises global warming. Climate change is one of the most hotly contested environmental debate of our time, and we need to work to protect this earth. Let's proceed to page number 23, reading with insight. There you can see 4 questions given in your book. And the first question, which you will mark as question number 3 in your answer register, would be, the world's geological history is trapped in Antarctica. How is the study of this region useful to us? When I explained this chapter in my lecture number 1, there I explained the same answer if you had gone through carefully. The appropriate answer to this question is, Antarctica holds 500,000 years old carbon track records in its layers of ice. It gives us an understanding of evolution and extinction, ozone and carbon. A visit to Antarctica, around which Gondwana once existed, is likely to go back to the past. The study of Antarctica gives us knowledge about where we have come from and where we are heading. Question number 2 says, what are Geoff Green's reasons for including high school students on the Students on Ice expedition? And the answer to this question is, Geoff Green feels that students are the future generation of policymakers. They should be provided an opportunity to have this life-changing experience at the age in order to foster a new understanding and respect for the planet where life is possible. It would help them to absorb, learn, and act for the benefit of this planet. So, to sensitize them, it's important to provide them the visible life-changing experience. And question number 3 is, take care of the small things and the big things will take care of themselves. What is the relevance of this statement in the context of the Antarctic environment? This is a beautiful saying given there. If you take care of the small things, the big things will take care of themselves. The answer to this question is, the Antarctic environment has been affected by global warming. It's clear from melting of glaciers and collapsing of ice shelves. But the danger of global warming appears to be a small thing to many people. It starts from the burning of fossil fuel. No harm can come up if we make a wise use of these fuels. But we have started using them carelessly. Their overuse has disturbed the global carbon cycle. The ozone layer has been affected. In other words, the neglect of small things has resulted in a terrible danger. Therefore, being humans, it is our utmost duty to take care of the small things. We should start from at home so that we can make big changes in saving the environment. The last question of this chapter is, why is Antarctica the place to go to understand the Earth's present, past and future? Children, for your knowledge, I must tell you, this is the most important question of this chapter. You need to be very much careful for this. And the answer to this question is, Antarctica is really the place to go if we want to know the present, past and future of the Earth. It can only tell us how our globe took its shape. It also tells it was the time when Antarctica and South America used to be a part of the supercontinent Gondwana. Its study also tells us that it is the only place in the world that never had any human population. Thus, it tells present state also. Its receding glaciers and collapsing ice sheets can give us an indication of the future also. They can tell us how real the threat of global warming is. This is the end of all the questions of this chapter. And now I request all of you to read the chapter once again thoroughly for better understanding and answer these questions in your Fair English notebook. And it is your utmost duty to learn these answers as well. So today's homework is learn and write all these 6 questions of Journey to the End of the Earth discussed in this lecture in your Fair English notebook. Thank you. Have a nice day.